drunk and flipped a car. I was 17 at the time and had my first experience with falling in love. My high school boyfriend was a rich kid. That seemed like a bad boy, so that was exciting to me. He had something I wanted, because I had odd fantasies about wealth since I was a child. I developed the notion that if I had money, I would be happy. If I looked like Kelly Taylor from 90210, I would be happy. If I was white, blonde, and had perfect bangs that stayed in place, I'd like myself, and so would everyone else. I unconsciously set out to become things outside of my nature, like a big game of make-believe. If I didn't look like me, if I didn't talk like me, if I didn't feel like me, I'd be better. And if I acted a certain way, the world would give me what I wanted and leave me alone. I met my second boyfriend within the first year of moving to Los Angeles. The relationship was more mature than my first love, but I was eventually unfaithful to both partners. I was afraid of commitment. I never wanted to feel as if I owed anything or if I had to answer to anyone. Truly, I felt the world owed me everything. Over time, I've been able to get a look at my pattern of entitlement. Where does this stuff come from? From the time I was 8 to the age of 19, I watched my mother die. In her essence, she was luminous and loving. But through the years of drug addiction, she contracted AIDS and slowly deteriorated. I never intended to end up in Florida, and I didn't want to be around my family, so when she died, I had my out. My mother's death fueled my anger and separation from family. Recently, an advisor explained to me that my entitlement comes from a very real place. I was missing something that fundamentally I should have gotten. I viewed the world through a warped lens for a long time, always needing more. We all play with image, but even more so, the broken ones morph and transform into what we think the world wants us to be, so we can feel loved. It's another way we are not true to ourselves. I was always a performer. I gave people shiny outs, because that's what I thought they wanted. I would manipulate to get what I wanted, and then shut the world out as to not feel pain. Fast forward, I found some truth, and it happened in prison. I finally slowed down to take a look at myself, a look at my integrity. Several months into my sentence, I found my way to my first meeting and decided to examine my capacity to be honest. All the wounds, the hurt, the anger, over the years had taken unrecognizable shape and calcified. I couldn't even remember where the suffering had started and had ended up so bitter and alone. What's heartbreaking about alcoholism and addiction is it's a disease that robs your life of love. With many of us, we traded our love is God, for drugs and alcohol. The escape into substance got in the way of our relationships, direction, and spiritual connection. A piece of you dies when you exchange love for oblivion. It's an invisible weight to carry. You start walking different, you can't look the world in the eye, and it changes your perception. Alcoholism is a mental illness, so it's a disease that centers in the mind. There are moments in your life that you wish you could go back and change. Like, man, what would I have done differently? Self-sabotage is woven in most alcoholics and addicts. Some of us don't know value or worth, especially within ourselves. I learned about gratitude and trust in recovery. I would not be alive had I not been locked up. My incarceration is the perfect example of God doing for me what I could not do